Hey, good morning, my construction entrepreneurs. Tyrone Jones here with the Construction Entrepreneur School and Services. Hey, I'm on one of my walks again, and I think one of the things I wanted to touch on right now is as you guys know, I get a lot of calls from individuals, men and women, seeking to get their contractor's license. And one of the things that I always take a little bit of time and tell a story on is not, and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to shoot down anyone's optimism or their happiness or their go get it spirit, whatever that is, right? But I have to touch on individuals thinking that they're just going to start a business and this thing is just going to be lovely, right? Hey, Tyrone, I've been doing this for 15 years, man. I've been making money hands over fists. It's time for me to get my license so I can just... Now, of course, not everybody that says that is not thinking the same thing as far as that it's just going to be easy. But I think as entrepreneurs, most of us, including myself, I have had it too, I have had it bad because I have forgotten about it and then started another business and forgotten about it again. And I think knowing that it's not going to be great out the back, knowing that, especially starting, now we're talking about starting a construction company. Now, this can go across the board with any business. Because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it, like you hear. But starting a construction business, a true business, we're not talking about doing side work, okay? Because if you're just doing side work, that's just what the fuck it is, it's side work. Okay, and you're not accounting for really anything that you need to account for on the business side. Whether you have an office, which you don't need one if you're having a business, paperwork, insurance, and all this other stuff, payroll. And I'm not talking about paying a guy what he gets paid. I'm talking about paying a guy with his labor burden on it, and things like that. But people get into this and it's like, hey, I'm gonna start a business and think that, I finna just quit my job and just go gun-ho for this. And it's finna be great. And I'm about to make a boatload of money. And that's not the case. When you start a business, it's gonna be tough. Things are gonna happen that you wouldn't even think would happen. Okay? And I think because we're so optimistic as entrepreneurs, we forget about the hard times that are to come. Okay, especially when you're doing residential and you're transitioning to commercial. That is a transition. Residential is a lot quicker money if you're getting paid right when your job is done, per se. And they're not holding a net, holding retention. If they're doing that, then transitioning to commercial is a lot easier for you. But most residential jobs pay when the job is done. Most commercial jobs pay on a 30-day net. So with dealing with just paying out everything, owning your own business is great. I own my own business, and I'm in several different partnerships. And it is great, and the payoff is great, and I think the main thing I go for is options and choices, right? Which is the same, one and the same. Just having options and choices, okay? Being able to choose what I want and having a lot of options on what to choose from, okay? And that's me. That's a lot of why I deal with a lot of this stuff, but know that the stress is going to come. And the reason why I say stress is going to come is because I ignored stress for years. And the reason why I ignored stress for years is because I dealt with it differently. If it was something out of my control, then it's out of my control. If it was something I could deal with, then I dealt with it to the best of my ability, and that was it. And a lot of things didn't really, I didn't consider them to be stress, even though I was now I look back, I probably was going through stress still. I just looked at it differently, or I dressed it up differently. Let's say that. And so I read it and acknowledge it. So as I continue to go through it. Well, as I continue to grow my business and grow these different partnerships and be in these different deals, as the deals got, higher and stress got deeper, until recently, I would say about 3 months ago is when I really started to, maybe 3 to 6 months ago, when I really started acknowledging that I'm stressing. Right? I had an anxiety attack, and I didn't even know. My wife had to tell me, like, you're having an anxiety attack right now. I was explaining to her what I was feeling and what I was going through in that particular moment, and she had to describe what I was going to me. But that just actually, because I have a certain level of self-awareness, that just actually made me draw back and really look and do a projection over everything and what's to come and what I have been through so far, and just acknowledge it and take it in and just approach it differently. Just really approach it differently. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is that if you're looking to start your construction business and you have a job, you need to do a transition from that to your business. How do you do that? You work jobs on the weekends. You work jobs at night. You do whatever you can to build up that equity to put into your business to afford you to leave your company. Because if you leave and you go to commercial work, it's going to be tough. Because remember, commercial work pays out on 30-day net. So you don't get that 30 days don't start until after you finish whatever particular task you're on. Say it takes you a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Then your 30 days start once you build for the completion of that task. Okay, so if you having guys work for you during that time, you got to cover that payroll. Okay, you got insurance payments. You got to cover that insurance payments. If you got material costs, if you don't have vendors and account setup, you got to pay for that during that time. During the 2 weeks that took you to complete the job, plus the 30 days that you got to wait for your pay. Okay? So you really got to understand that. And I think I'm going to throw a little nugget in there. A lot of, and it's probably to do with different trades. A lot of sectors or a lot of trades that you do, you always want to make sure your payout that you're getting is more than what you have spent for that quarter or more than you have spent for that period of time. So what I mean by that is this: when you get that 30-day payout after you didn't work, 4-6 weeks, right? So you have waited 6 weeks to get a 30-day payout. You need to make sure that that payout covers what you have spent in that 6 weeks plus your profit and overhead. You see what I'm saying? That means that you need to watch your costs. And that's where it comes into, doing estimates and understanding how to break down estimates. Go through one of my estimating class. That's where you'll learn that particular experience from, okay? But know that it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult. It's going to be hard. But at the same time, it's going to be rewarding, okay? But no, it's going to be hard. It's going to be unbelievable hard. And you gotta, having the right spouse is key. If you have someone that's, if they grew up where their parents was doing, 9 to 5s and they're not used to long hours, it's going to be hard for that spouse. Because this business is going to take every hour from you. Every minute from you. You're going to think about it at night. And if you're not, then you're probably not passionate enough for it. You need to figure out something that's going to keep you up at night, something that's going to drive you all hours during the day. You need to have something that you have passion for. When you have something that you have passion for, you're trying to grow it and you believe in it, it takes up your time. It takes up your energy. It takes away time from your family. It takes away time from your other loved ones. It takes away time from other hobbies. It just digs in. And you have to be prepared for that. And I think a lot of people say, yeah, I'm ready. I can sacrifice this. until you really have to sacrifice. Then you have an issue. So, what I would say is this. Know when you're ready. And go for it. And just know these things are to come. And I'm going to deal with them, but they are to come. Because it's going to come. So I'll leave you with that. Hopefully that didn't discourage you. Hopefully it still encouraged you because you just got more information. If you already knew this, thanks. Appreciate it. Leave your comments below. Talk to you soon. Remember, hustle hard, then hustle harder. See you on the next one.